His brothers were musicians. Male organs were musicians.
Erkek organları müzisyendi.
You must not suffer. Must suffer.
Acı çekmeli.
Was the window cleaner next year? Was the window cleaner next year?
Gelecek yıl pencere temizleyicisiydi.
He wasn't bartending every week. He wasn't bartending every week.
Her hafta barmenlik yapmazdı.
Do they become acrobats at dusk? Do they become acrobats at dusk?
Alacakaranlıkta akrobat mı oluyorlar?
Was their spouse a reporter? Peers data storage?
Eşleri veri depolama.
Can I lock it? Can I lock it?
Kilitleyebilir mi?
Now we have to hope. Now we have to hope.
Artık umutlanmalıyız.
Will there be an illustrator every year? Will there be an illustrator every year?
Her yıl illüstratör olacak mı?
His cousins were cashiers. His cousins were cashiers.
Kuzenleri kasiyerdi.
I can win at noon. I can win at noon.
Öğlen kazanabilirim.
The stepdaughter's hairdresser. Could be a hairdresser.
Üvey kuaförü olabilir.
Your friend is the owner. Your friend is the owner.
Arkadaşın ev sahibi.
He has to dance at 3 a.m. He must dance at 3 a.m. at midnight.
Gece yarısında 3'te dans etmesi gerekir.
Didn't you ever wonder? Didn't I ever wonder?
Hiç merak etmedim mi?
Was his brother-in-law a swimmer? Was his brother-in-law a swimmer?
Kayınbiraderi yüzücü müydü?
Will it attack at night? Will it attack at night?
Gece vakti saldıracak mı?
Your nephew is a lawyer. Your nephew is a lawyer.
Yeğeniniz avukat.
Was my stepmother the dean? Is my stepmother the dean?
Üvey annem dekan mı?
Are their cousins shoemakers? Are their cousins shoemakers?
Kuzenleri kunduracı mı?
Do they usually play games? Do they usually play games?
Genellikle oyunlar oynarlar mı?
Couldn't he answer? Can't answer?
Cevap veremez mi?
Hairdresser after 4 weekends? Hairdresser after 4 weekends?
Kuaför 4 hafta sonu sonra mı?
We'll communicate in 2 seconds. We'll communicate in 2 seconds.
2 saniye sonra haberleşiriz.
Descendants were recruiters. Descendants were recruiters.
Torunları işe alım görevlisiydi.
Shouldn't it be cooked at all? Should it cook at all?
Hiç pişirmeli mi?
Doesn't he normally step? Is he not stepping normally?
Normal adım atmıyor mu?
Did we dress up last year? Did you dress up last year?
Geçen yıl giyinir miydiniz?
I won't wake up next year. I won't wake up next year.
Gelecek yıl uyanmayacağım.
There won't be a tailor every year. She won't be the tailor of the year.
Onun yıl terzisi olmayacak.
Is her grandmother a contractor? Is her grandmother a contractor?
Büyükannesi müteahhit mi?
I would reflect. I'm out.
Çıktım.
Were their cousins decorators? Were their cousins decorators?
Kuzenleri dekoratör müydü?
Could not extend. Could not extend.
Uzatamadı.
Will it be accepted after 3 months? Will it be accepted after 3 months?
3 ay sonra kabul olur mu?
Is his wife a worker? Coworker?
Eş işçi mi?
Wasn't it fear? Isn't fear interesting?
Korku enteresan değil mi?
Was your brother a baker? Is your brother a baker?
Kardeşin fırıncı mı?
I can paint yearly. I can paint yearly.
Yıllık resim yapabilirim.
Our grandchildren are anthropologists. Our grandchildren are anthropologists.
Torunlarımız antropolog.
Have I read? Have I read?
Okundum mu?
Will we never be dietitians? Will we never be dietitians?
Asla diyetisyen olmayacak mıyız?
We were able to become governor 4 centuries ago. We were able to be valid 4 centuries ago.
4 asır önce geçerli olabildik.
My brother was the minister. My brother was the minister.
Kardeşim bakandı.
Does it have to calculate 2 weeks? Does it have to calculate 2 weeks?
2 haftayı hesaplamak zorunda mı?
You won't be a cleaner every week. You won't be a cleaner every week.
Her hafta temizlikçi olmayacaksın.
Are we kissing after 1 month? Are they kissing after 1 month?
1 ay sonra öpüşüyorlar mı?
They won't be going to jail anytime soon. They won't be going to jail anytime soon.
Yakında hapse girmeyecekler.
You are not developing normally. You are developing normally.
Normal bir şekilde gelişiyorsun.
It wasn't Potter 3 the previous morning. It wasn't Potter 3 the previous morning.
Önceki sabah çömlekçi 3 değildi.
Is his wife a reporter? Is his wife a reporter?
Eşi haberci mi?
Isn't he always a philosopher? Isn't he always a philosopher?
Her zaman filozof değil mi?
Was his half-brother a gymnast? Her half-brother gymnast release?
Üvey kardeşi jimnastikçi yayın.
Do we have to wear it at sunrise? Do we have to wear it at sunrise?
Güneş doğarken giymek zorunda mıyız?
Do they stylist every week? Are they her week stylist?
Onlar onun haftası stilist mi?
His wife was a cardiologist. His wife was a cardiologist.
Karısı kardiyologdu.
Will it then stop at 3 a.m.? Will it then stop at 3 a.m.?
Daha sonra gece yarısı 3'te duracak mı?
Shouldn't I be making jewelry at night? Shouldn't I be making jewelry at night?
Geceleri kuyumculuk yapmayayım mı?
Will we never be dietitians? Will we never be dietitians?
Asla diyetisyen olmayacak mıyız?
Were his grandchildren weathermen? Are we going to use grandchildren as weather presenters?
Torunları hava durumu sunucusu olarak mı kullanacağız?
Was their mother a rapper? Mom's rapper extensions?
Anneleri rapçi uzantıları.
Can't we be judges in 4 weeks? Can't we be judges in 4 weeks?
4 hafta sonra yargıç olamaz mıyız?
I won't start often. I won't start often.
Sık sık başlamayacağım.
You can't fish often. You can't fish often.
Sık sık balık tutamazsınız.
Shouldn't they? Shouldn't they?
Almamalılar mı?
His half-brother is a rapper. His half-brother is a rapper.
Üvey erkek kardeşi rapçi.
Was I ruling at night? Was I ruling at night?
Gece vakti mi hükmediyordum?
Shouldn't you be connecting? Should you connect?
Bağlanmalı mısın?
Are we building now? Being built now?
Şimdi inşa ediliyor.
Do they normally fall? Do they need to fall off permanently?
Kalıcı düşmeleri gerekir mi?
He may not confess. He may not confess.
İtiraf etmeyebilir.
Can you appear? Can you appear?
Görünebilir misin?
Can you point? Can I mark?
İşaretleyebilir miyim?
Won't he be a programmer at sunset? Won't he be a programmer at sunset?
Gün batımında programcı olmayacak mı?
Can I choose? Does it carry?
Taşır mı?
Was he an astronomer 3 centuries ago? 3 centuries ago doing astronomy?
3 asır önce astronomi mi yapıyorsunuz?
Doesn't he complain? Won't I complain?
Şikayet etmeyeceğim mi?
Won't he be a congressman by sunset? Won't he be a congressman at the end of the day?
Gün bitiminde kongre üyesi olmayacak mı?
Should we match? Should we match?
Eşleşmeli miyiz?
They will not do business at night. They will not do business at night.
Gece vakti esnaflık yapmayacaklar.
Will they not inform? Can they get news?
Haber gelebilirler mi?
Is his wife a reporter? Is his wife a reporter?
Eşi haberci mi?
His mother was a firefighter. His mother was a firefighter.
Annesi itfaiyeciydi.
Will he always notice? Will he always notice?
Her zaman fark edecek mi?
Are my cousins songwriters? Are my cousins songwriters?
Kuzenlerim söz yazarı mı?
I can relate after one night. I can relate after one night.
Bir gece sonra ilişki kurabilirim.
Was his wife a butcher? Wife carry the butcher?
Karısı kasap taşımak.
Was it working before? Have they worked before?
Daha önce çalışıyorlar mı?
Shouldn't she be the receptionist right away? Shouldn't she be the receptionist right away?
Hemen resepsiyonist olmaz gerekmez mi?
We will not analyze every year. Does not speak analysis every year.
Her yıl analizi konuşmaz.
My husband is a stewardess. My husband is a stewardess.
Kocam hostes.
3 afternoons. Can you make a developer? After 3 computers, can the developer do it wrong?
3 bilgisayardan sonra geliştirici yanlış yapabilir mi?
Weren't we lawyers 2 minutes ago? Didn't the lawyer spread 2 minutes ago?
2 dakika önce avukat yayılmamış mı?
Our grandmother was a waitress. Our grandmother's waitress.
Anneannemiz garsonu.
Should it be removed? Should it be removed?
Kaldırmalı mı?
Doesn't he need to fix it? Shouldn't it be repaired?
Tamir etmesi gerekmez mi?
Should fall. Should fall.
Düşmeli.
Shouldn't I run away? Shouldn't I run away?
Kaçmamalı mıyım?
It would be right away. It will be right away.
Hemen olacak.
We will not analyze every year. Does not speak analysis every year.
Her yıl analizi konuşmaz.
Your nephew is the waiter. Nephew's waiter.
Yeğenin garsonu.
You can never place it. You can never place it.
Asla yerleştiremezsin.
Wouldn't you be a civil engineer in 2 days? Can't you go to a civil engineer in 2 days?
2 gün sonra inşaat mühendisi gitmeniz olmaz mı?
Will not suppress. Will not be suppressed.
Bastırılmayacak.
Won't it push last year? Won't it push last year?
Geçen sene zorlamayacak mı?
Works for 10 years. Year works.
Yıl çalışıyor.
We should never return. We should never return.
Asla dönmemeliyiz.
Shouldn't we remember at sunset? Shouldn't we remember at sunset?
Gün batımında hatırlamamız gerekmiyor mu?
3 weeks later becomes a midwife. 3 weeks later becomes a midwife.
3 hafta sonra ebe olur.
I could not inform. I could not inform.
Haber veremedim.
We shouldn't stay every day. We shouldn't stay every day.
Her gün kalmamalıyız.
Are we coroners now? Can we come with the coroner?
Adli tabip birlikte gelebilir miyiz?
You shouldn't enjoy. You shouldn't enjoy.
Zevk almamalısın.
He was playing every day. He was playing every day.
Her gün oynuyordu.
Can we imply 5 centuries ahead? Can we imply 5 centuries ahead?
5 asır sonrasını ima edebilir miyiz?
Sometimes I was a firefighter. Sometimes I was a firefighter.
Bazen itfaiyeciydim.
Can it last 2 weeks? Can it last 2 weeks?
2 hafta dayanabilir mi?
Will you trust before? Will you trust before?
Daha önce güvenecek misin?
Won't it get after 1 second? Won't it get after 1 second?
1 saniye sonra elde etmeyecek mi?
Can't you work often? Can't you work often?
Sık sık çalışamaz mısın?
Later in the morning they are not inspectors. Later in the morning they are not inspectors.
Daha sonra sabah müfettiş değiller.
Did he mention last year? Did we talk about past lives?
Geçen yaşamları konuştuk mu?
They should not be announced. They should not be announced.
İlan etmemelidirler.
His half-sisters are cashiers. His half-sisters are cashiers.
Üvey kız kardeşleri kasiyerdir.
Would it go forward? Would it go forward?
İleri gider miydi?
Was our stepsister a businesswoman? Is our stepsister a business manager?
Üvey kız kardeşimiz iş yöneticisi mi?
He won't be doing his internship right away. He won't be doing his internship right away.
Hemen staj yapmayacak.
We are not always geographers. We will not always be geographers.
Biz her zaman coğrafyacı olmayacağız.
Does not leave. Does not leave.
Ayrılmıyor.
Her mother-in-law is a hydrologist. Her mother-in-law is a hydrologist.
Kayınvalidesi hidrologdur.
Can't I exercise? Was I exercising?
Egzersiz yapıyormuşum.
Can you install 2 hours ago? Can you install 2 hours ago?
Kurulumu 2 saat önce yapabilir misiniz?
Caretaker of grandchildren. Guardian of grandchildren.
Torunların bekçisi.
Aren't we going to sing in 2 days? Aren't we going to sing in 2 days?
2 gün sonra şarkı söylemeyecek miyiz?
I can't publish. Take a broadcast.
Yayın çekin.
I couldn't meet. I couldn't meet.
Görüşemedim.
Anesthesiologist will never be. Anesthesiologist will never be.
Anestezist asla olmaz.
You can apply every day. You can apply every day.
Her gün başvurabilir.
Won't he be a doctor in a year? Won't he be a doctor in a year?
1 yıl sonra doktor olmayacak mı?
Can't we glazing at 3 p.m.? Shall we be glazing at 3 p.m.?
Öğleden sonra 3'te camlama olacak mıyız?
Was your husband a lawyer? Is your husband hiring a lawyer?
Kocanız avukat tutmak.
I couldn't deal. I couldn't deal.
Uğraşamadım.
Should they be cops after 3 centuries? Should they be cops after 3 centuries?
3 asır sonra polis mi olsunlar?
Does he forget every month? Doesn't he forget everything?
Her şeyi unutmuyor mu?
Your half-brother is a lawyer. Your half-brother's lawyer.
Üvey kardeşin avukatı.
Is your son a secretary? Your son's secretary?
Oğlunuzun sekreteri mi?
I can be a cleaner in a year. I can be a cleaner in a year.
1 yıl sonra temizlikçi olabilirim.
His half-brother was the assistant cook. His half-brother was the assistant cook.
Üvey erkek kardeşi aşçı yardımcısıydı.
Rarely do we get. With me?
Yanımda mı?
There has been an increase. It was love.
Aşk oldu.
Was his brother a landscape architect? His brother is a landscape architect?
Kardeşi peyzaj mimarı.
Can you evaluate every day? Can you evaluate every day?
Her gün değerlendirebilir mi?
Would behave. Was a guest.
Misafirdi.
Did he come? Did he come?
Geldi mi?
Your stepfather was the referee. Your stepfather was the referee.
Üvey baban hakemdi.
They must meet at night. They must meet at night.
Gece vakti buluşmaları gerekir.
You should see it at dawn. You should see it at dawn.
Şafakta görmelisiniz.
We are electrician every year. We are electrician every year.
Biz elektrikçi her yıl.
I wouldn't be an artist at 3 o'clock after midnight. I make artist builds at 3 a.m. after midnight.
Gece yarısından sonra 3'te sanatçı yapılarım.
Your cousins were garbage collectors. Your cousins were garbage collectors.
Kuzenleriniz çöp toplayıcıydı.
Your children are lumberjacks. Your children are lumberjacks.
Çocuklarınız oduncu.
You should get well soon. You need to rescue urgently.
Acil kurtarmalısın.
They can always serve. They can always serve.
Her zaman hizmet verebilirler.
Were they created? Were they created?
Yaratıldılar mı?
Does he never lift? Does he never lift?
O asla kaldırmıyor mu?
I don't mean a year later. I don't mean a year later.
Bir yıl sonrasını kastetmeyeceğim.
His relatives are jewelers. His relatives are jewelers.
Akrabaları kuyumcudur.
I shouldn't be a policewoman every year. Women shouldn't be a cop every year.
Her yıl kadın polis olmamalıdır.
Could he never be a servant? Could he never be a servant?
O asla uşak olamaz mı?
Should not be audited every month. Printing should not be done every month.
Her ay baskı yapılmamalıdır.
Will they not insist? Those who do not insist.
Israr etmeyenler mi?
Doesn't he row at noon? Doesn't he row at noon?
Öğle vakti kürek çekmez mi?
Have they lost a weekend before? Have they lost a weekend before?
Daha önce bir hafta sonu mu kaybettiler?
My stepbrother was a juggler. My stepbrother was a juggler.
Üvey ağabeyim hokkabazdı.
Is our daughter a butler? Is our daughter a butler?
Kızımız uşak mı?
Usually named. Should usually be named.
Genellikle adlandırılmalıdır.
His half-brother was a scavenger. His half-brother was a scavenger.
Üvey kardeşi çöpçüydü.
At dawn, I was not an insurer. It wasn't my insurer at dawn.
Şafakta sigortacım değildi.
After 3 months, you should be a weightlifter. After 3 months, you should be a weightlifter.
3 ay sonra halterci olmalısın.
You could have been a butcher earlier at 1 a.m. Could have been the butcher earlier at 1 a.m.
Daha önce gece yarısı 1'de kasap olabilirdi.
We should suggest the afternoon. We should suggest it after the matches.
Maçlardan sonra önermeliyiz.
Translator at sunrise? Translator at sunrise?
Gün doğumunda tercüman mı?
Was he just an assistant lawyer? Is he urgently assisting a lawyer?
Acilen avukat yardımcılığı yapıyor.
May not be a weekly investor. Cannot be a weekly investor.
Haftalık yatırımcı olamaz.
After 2 hours should not train. After 2 hours should not train.
2 saat sonra antrenman yapmamalıdır.
Didn't he always translate? Don't they always translate?
Hep tercüme etmezler mi?
Will not suppress. Will not be suppressed.
Bastırılmayacak.
Should not travel. Should not travel.
Seyahat etmemelidir.
Weren't we financiers before at 5 a.m.? Before 5 at midnight financier not generalization?
Daha önce gece yarısı 5'te finansör değil genelleme.
Annual astronomer right? Annual astronomy right?
Yıllık astronomi değil mi?
I did not throw. I did not throw.
Ben atmadım.
You shouldn't be a professor soon. You should be a professor soon.
Yakında profesör olmalısınız.
My father was a lawyer. My father was a lawyer.
Babam avukattı.
We are rising. We are rising.
Yükseliyoruz.
May not push. May not push.
İtmeyebilir.
Does it diversify? Does it diversify?
Çeşitlendiriyor mu?
Would you buy? Are you buying?
Satın alıyor musunuz?
Your brother-in-law was a designer. Your brother-in-law was a participant.
Kayınbiraderinizin katılımcısıydı.
Can you shepherd every year? Can shepherding be wrong every year?
Her yıl çobanlık yanlış olabilir mi?